How's it going, guys? Football-ManagerYouthDevelopment.co.uk here. Welcome to the next episode of our Charlton Moneyball playthrough on Football Manager 2016. So it turns out I'm actually now managing in the same league as legendary France player Zinedine Zidane. He's just taken over as the manager of Bournemouth, which is quite an interesting one anyway. So yeah, Bournemouth are actually, well, they got relegated last season. They're currently 16th in the championship table, and it looks like they've actually turned to Zidane to try and save them. In terms of where we are in the league, so you can see here that we're 5th position at the moment. We've played 12 games. We have won 6 games, drawn 3 and lost 3. Our goal difference is 4 at the moment. We've not exactly been too prolific in terms of the amount of goals that we've scored. You know, we're not exactly the worst team in the whole league, but yeah, we probably could do scoring quite a few more goals if we're able to. Again, we haven't exactly got the worst defence in the league. We're pretty much sort of quite average, I guess, in both areas. But yeah, certainly if we could start to score a few more goals, that would certainly help us a lot. In today's episode, we're going to play a couple of games, so we'll catch up on the results of the games we have played recently. I think the last game we played was this game against Barnsley, when we won that one 3-1. We then unfortunately lost to Bournemouth 3-0. Since then we've won 3 games out of 5, drawn 1, and yeah, we actually lost against Bristol City unfortunately 2-0. The last game against Fulham we played absolutely amazingly, so I'll just show you the match stats for this game. But we had 21 shots, 12 of which were on target. We had 6 clear-cut chances as well, so I was real happy with the way the players played in this game. In terms of how much money we've got, so obviously in the last episode I showed you that we did end up selling Jordan Cousins. The money is slowly kind of dwindling away at the moment, so if we have a look at the projection, by the end of the season they reckon we'll pretty much would have lost most of that money, unfortunately. So I do think at the moment where Charlton are obviously not playing in the Premier League, the TV money is going to be affecting us. Our wage bill's not exactly astronomical, but yeah, we're probably going to have to just keep selling as many players as possible, whilst also trying to get into the Premier League where obviously all the money is. So it's going to be a little bit of a juggling act. I'm certainly hoping that we can get into the Premier League this time round. Okay, so we're pretty much all ready for the first game in today's episode, which is going to be a home game against Derby. I'll just show you some of the players that I've been pretty happy with at the beginning of the season. So James McLean, who we've got on loan, I think it's from Sunderland if I remember correctly, or West Brom. He's been doing pretty well for us so far. So in 4 appearances, he's managed to bag himself a goal and 3 assists with an average rating of 7.6. The guy who we got to replace Jordan Cousins has started off like a complete house on fire, to be honest. So in 7 appearances he's managed to get 6 goals. 2 of them have been from penalties, but you know, every single goal counts. Also he has got an average rating of 7.53. Certainly do have real big hopes for this guy. I think he can just keep developing and, you know, things like that. So how much do we sign him for? So we signed him for about £2 million, and now he's worth near enough, not too far off, about £4 million. So he's near enough doubled how much his value's worth, or how much we actually bought him for since the time he's been playing for us. I've also been pretty happy with the form of Chris Gunter as well. So obviously last season he was playing for Reading in the Championship, and his average rating was 7.02. As this is a Moneyball series, what I decided to do was just have a look for some Championship players whose contracts were expiring. I was looking at things like average rating, you know, the number of tackles made per game, number of assists and things like this, and Chris Gunter was one of the better ones to come up, and certainly so far he's been doing a pretty decent job for us. So we can see last season in the league he was making 3.11 tackles per game, and this season in the league so far he's made 3.64 tackles per game, so that's much higher. You can see his average rating is actually higher as well. What else? So his passing success rates much better as well. He's added about 8% onto his pass success rate as well, so pretty successful season for Chris Gunter so far. So in terms of the team that's going to be starting today's game, we're going to go for Daniel Ward in goal. Varela, who's been out recently injured, is coming back in at right back. Naby Sarr at centre back. Patrick Bayer, Chris Gunter, Sam Bone, Sam Bone is a Charlton Academy player basically, but he's starting to improve quite a bit basically, so I'm just going to give him his chance in the first team today and just see how he gets on. We've gone for Joshua, Onomoa, Furman, Awobi, Conway and George up front. Okay, so just to update you on the first half, it's been half an hour and there's been absolutely no chances or highlights for me to show basically from this game. You can see that we've actually had 5 shots, well 6 shots now, 2 of which have been on target. This is actually the first highlight of the whole game. So Furman picks up the ball in the middle, puts it through to George, and we managed to get a corner off that, but probably we should have scored that. Conway's going to take the corner, comes out to Iwobi, who's hopefully going to use a little bit of skill. He doesn't and ends up losing the ball in the middle. The ball comes out to the left-hand side to Johnson, and then Ward picks up the ball. So not too much actually happened with that highlight, and we're just coming up to half-time now. So potential chance here. Russell puts the ball into the middle of the goal, and our goalkeeper makes a very, very good save early in the first half. So we've actually had 10 shots now, 4 of which have been on target. I gave the players a little bit of a rollicking at half time just simply because the performance of the players has not been too good so far in this game. Okay, so actually only a couple of minutes here left. I've tried to make a few substitutions just to see if that would make any difference. And unfortunately, that was a little bit of a boring 0-0 draw. So yeah, not exactly the best kind of game to show in terms of highlights, and I've just completely messed up the team talk as well. So with that being said, we are now 7th in the league table. As you can see, it's all pretty kind of close at the top of the league, but I'll just get the team ready for the next game in today's episode. So just checking out the development of a couple of players, and I can see that Alex Iwobi's doing pretty well actually. So he's got quite a lot of green arrows sort of shooting up all over the place here. Obviously on loan from Arsenal. In terms of actually kind of playing league matches, he didn't actually make any league appearances for Arsenal at any point during his career, but so this is the first time he's actually got an opportunity to play some league football and seems to be doing pretty well so far. Just having a look at making some changes to the starting lineup. So Craig Conway's going to come out, and I'm going to bring James McLean back into the starting lineup. Just having a quick flick through, so Naby Sarr's doing pretty decent as well at the moment. I don't think there's too many players really that I want to change over. Might bring on Dan Burn, I think, just for Naby Sarr, just because Naby Sarr's condition is 93% at the moment, so I'll give him a little bit of a rest. I can see that Regan Charles Cook is back sort of from injury as well, so I'm going to bring him into the starting 11. I'll just have a real quick look through just to check if there's any other players that I might need to substitute. Looks like that's all pretty good, so we'll get the subs added to the team and we'll crack on with this game now. Okay, so Cardiff have picked up the ball in the middle of the pitch with Whittingham, passes it back to Turner. The ball comes out wide to Malone. We're trying to press the Cardiff players just to try and make them make a mistake. Lafondre got that ball at the back post and our goalkeeper manages to pick that up. Again, this game has not really started off too fast, to be honest. Yeah, within the first 25 minutes, the highlights that we've just seen is the first one of note. So unfortunately that game, yeah, it's 0-0 at half time. Really not too much has happened. I'm just going to go assertively on the players. That has fired them up, and I am hoping that that should kickstart them into doing something a little bit better in the second half. I'll push it up to control as well, and also what I'm going to do is get my fullbacks to look for the overlap as well. So unfortunately Cardiff have actually scored quite early in the second half. Looks like Peter Whittingham has managed to put the ball in the back of the net. So we'll watch this in 3D now, guys. So the ball is pumped forward. Looks like Doyle gets a header on it. We've got quite a lot of defenders there, so I'm not particularly too sure why we don't deal with that, but Whittingham eventually is just there to kind of put the ball into the back of the net. Maybe another chance here, or at least there is a highlight. So Varela comes forward with the ball, pass it to Iwobi. Onoma is bringing the ball forward, pass it back to Charles Cook. Furman onto George, onto Onoma, and the ball goes out for a corner kick here, which McLean is going to take. The ball's floated in. Varela should pick that ball up. He does, puts it out wide, and that's the end of that highlight. So Gunter picks the ball up here on the left-hand side, and McLean looks like he's got a pretty decent goal there. Looks by like the commentary that was potentially just meant to be a cross rather than anything else, but we have pulled it back to 1-1 here. So Gunter with the ball down the left-hand side, and McLean just takes a bit of a swing at it, and to be honest, that's a pretty decent goal right in the top corner. So I'm happy that we have at least managed to draw it back or pull it level to 1-1 now. So Varela's got the ball out here on the right hand side. McLean picks it up on the left. Inside to Onoma. Whittingham picks it up for Cardiff, but their defender makes a pretty sloppy pass actually. Furman picks the ball up in the middle onto our striker Peter, and that goes out for a corner. Hopefully there'll be another highlight here, which there is. McLean tries to put the ball in the middle, but it's quite a poor corner to be honest, and Whittingham just chucks it out for a throw-in. Obviously we haven't really got too much longer left of this game now, so Pilkington picks the ball up for Cardiff. Whittingham onto Turner on the left-hand side. We just need to make sure that we're closing Cardiff down here, so Noon gets the ball in the middle, and Charles Cook hopefully will deal with that. Dan Byrne is there as well, and Peter should hopefully try and close that guy down here. He is not really making too much of an effort to do that. Charles Cook puts the ball out wide to Iwobi, onto Peter, and again we've got another corner here. So Furman's going to take this one. A little bit of a better corner, but nothing materialises from that one as well. Little bit of a basketball game at the end. At the moment it's kind of going end to end. Pilkington puts the ball through to Mason, and a very, very good save from our goalkeeper there to put it out for a corner. Whittingham chucks the ball in the middle, comes out to Noon, out again to Whittingham on the left hand side. Again we close the ball down, and Peter is looking to counter attack here. Another poor pass unfortunately, which is not too good. So we'll try and make a real quick substitution here. Obviously you can see that some of our players are getting quite knackered. I'm going to take off McLean and Iwobi, and I'm going to bring on Craig, Conway and Gudmundsson as well, just for the last kind of few moments. I'm just going to leave the highlights running, and hopefully something will come up just in the last sort of few minutes of the game here. Luckily there does. So Peter with the ball in the middle onto Conway. Couldn't particularly see what happened there, but looks like they broke away here, Cardiff potentially. So Doyle in the middle, and thankfully Charles Cook is there to mop that up again. Another pretty poor clearance from our goalkeeper. There's really not too much longer left now, about 30 seconds left of the game. So Charles Cook in the middle to Furman. Amoa onto Gudmundsson. Really should have been a better pass there, but Doyle picks the ball up, and Byrne luckily is there to pick him up. So I think that's pretty much going to be the end of the game. It is. So in this episode we've had a couple of draws. Not too bad I guess. We'll just have a quick look at the league table. So we are in 8th position now with 14 games played, 6 won, 5 drawn and 3 losses. I guess I'm not too disappointed with the way that game went. I do think obviously it would have been nicer if we could have got a victory out of it, but not too bad to be honest. You can see that most of the players did actually play well. So yeah, Dominic Furman again with an average rating of 8.5. Amoa with an average rating of 7.7, which is pretty decent. Chris Gunter 7.2, Varela 7.2. So we're not exactly playing too well, but certainly if we can try and put the ball into the back of the net a little bit more, I do think that will kind of obviously rocket us up the table. But yeah, I'm going to call this the end of the episode, guys. If you are enjoying this series, do drop a like. Leave your comments, and of course subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back very, very soon for the next episode. Thanks for watching.